Drum roll, please. Bang. And there it is. The lights are on. You're not home. All mine.
It is Monday morning.
It is a Monday morning. It is raining here in Fort Lauderdale, but there ain't nothing keeping me from being back in the saddle for the Nudelberg Daily Huddle. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to the last week of August.
Good morning and welcome to the last week of August. And shout out to Jim Barrett coming in on YouTube this morning. And I love it. Telling people to subscribe and get the notifications for when the huddle goes live. Glad to see you're up and at 'em, Jim, and glad to see you're here with us today.
Sorry to bust your bubble there, son, but he came in last night at 11 o'clock when the notification.
Oh, is that right? I just saw the that's awesome. Either way, I love the comment.
Man. You know what? These constant reminders of what we're doing. I would be remiss if I didn't start out by saying congratulations to both you, Jake, and Shay. I was fortunate to watch most of the show as we were taxiing and, just before we took off. But celebrating 300 is not
300. It's amazing that we didn't have that planned. Like we were just talking about how many episodes, and Shay was able to find it like that on how many. So very cool. And kudos to you. I mean,
as a parent, as a founder of the firm, as partners with you guys, that show was great. It was fun. It was exciting. You guys show up and you bring it, and there's no better way, and this is a note for everybody who's joining this morning. If you can't step off what you do and have people do it behind you, you are not leading the pack. So
amen. That's exactly what my post was about this morning. I don't know if you've seen the video so there's a video that's going around that everybody's talking about where Tua is coaching the receivers on what he wants. Right. And he's very animated about it. And everybody's like, oh, look at Tua coming into his role. But what I see is that Charlie Fry is right next to him, watching him coach the receivers and never steps in, never tries to step on his toes, never takes his thunder away. Charlie is developing Tua and watching Tua step into the role and then allowing him to have his voice, which not all leaders do. Charlie could have capped him at the legs right there and tried to coach for him and didn't. So that's exactly what you're talking about.
Well, that's really cool because everybody plays lots of different roles in their life. And at some point, they are coaching and motivating somebody. They may not know it, but their actions are significant. Speaking about actions, there was some great stuff that went on this weekend. For those who did not or have not watched the Little League World Series, it's so great to see the competition, the camaraderie, but the first pitch was badass.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Super cool. Just teamwork, camaraderie. We're all in this together. So many takeaways from just a simple taking the first pitch and making it something like that. For me, the action this weekend is something that I want to share with everybody. Right at the beginning of the pandemic, I was introduced to the CEO of True Network Advisors. He was not interested in taking my call. I found out afterwards. Finally got 15 minutes together for the virtual coffee. We really enjoyed talking to each other, said, let's do it again. On the second call, we were going a little longer. We had scheduled it for 30 minutes. And he said, hey, I'm curious, are you ever going to tell me what you do? And I said, not until you ask me. And then I told him, and he went, it's been a long time since I've had a business coach. What does that look like? Long story short, I started coaching him a year ago, did not meet him face-to-face until this past May when I spoke at their first in-person event in a long time at Barnsley Gardens. And then this weekend, Helen and I spent the weekend at his place up in Guntersville, Alabama. And, Mark asked me when we got on this morning, how did it go? When your clients become your friends and they are more friends than clients, life is treating you special. And thank you, Scott and Valerie, for a tremendous weekend. Who knew that my first trip to Alabama would be so great? So much good stuff. Had lunch in Birmingham at a place called Helen, if you can imagine that. So just so many
great picture.
Takeaways. Thank you. What a great weekend. Lessons learned. Get deep with your clients. Make it more than just about the business. And by the way, we spoke business all weekend, which was really fantastic. So with that, let's get up, wake up. Come on, Teddy. Wake up, everybody. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up. Come on, come on. Wake up, everybody. Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in there. No more about the thinking. Time for thinking ahead. Come on now. So I'm up. Any comment?
No, I mean, come on, steady. Win every time.
Right. So I'm going to take today's show and focus on one word, and I'm going to have 4 or 5 different executions of somebody sharing that word. The word is believe. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your product or service. It's so critical, the mindset of all winners. So let's start out with the famous actor, Anthony Hopkins. Talk to me about believe.
Whatever you want to do, believe it, believe it, believe it, even if you don't believe. Play the game of belief. Act as if you believe. That is power. That is sheer power. And it will happen. Believe you me. An old fool like me has worked in my life, it will work in yours. So never give up. Believe, believe, believe. I don't care if you're atheist or agnostic or anything. Believe, believe, believe.
So he says a couple of powerful things there. Even if you don't believe,
act as if you believe.
Act as if you believe. And that is not fake it till you make it, which I hate that bullshit comment. Gives, I wish it was just taken out of the vocabulary. Act as if you're the president, CEO. That's really significant. Another execution of the same word from our friend Jocko, who gives us Monday morning motivation. Go.
So I'll hear people say, if you believe it, then you can achieve it. And the problem with that is they're leaving out the most important part of the equation. And that part is work, action, actually doing something. That's what you have to do to achieve anything. Yeah, you got to believe it, but you better get the work done. It's Monday. Take action. Go get some, y'all. Have a good one. Out.
I love it.
How great is he to say, it's like,
if you believe it, you can achieve it.
You can almost sense his snottiness, but the fact is none of this, and I spoke about this in your show, Path, which is fantastic for all of the people that are listening to us. Mark and Andy Hill do another show called Path. That is fantastic. And I talked about you do the work. People say, how'd you do it? I outworked everybody. So,
yep. But so the belief part, and it's for me coming out of, you would get hired and fired in coaching every couple of years. And so when you would take over a new program, you would take over a full team of people, of structure, of processes that were not yours, that you were expected to win still, right? Like it didn't matter how talented you were, didn't matter what the problems were prior. You had to go into the job believing that you could win, but the belief that you could win was based on the fact that you could get everybody to buy in to do the work, because that is where the belief comes from. You'd walk into a game on Saturday and you might be the 25th ranked team in the country going against the number 2 team in the country. you would believe you could win that game if you prepared the right way. If you knew that you had practiced the right way, you could sleep well Friday night knowing we've done everything we can to give ourselves the best shot to win this game. We know that it's not going to be easy. They're the best team in the country, but we've prepared. If you had shitty practices on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you didn't sleep good Friday night. It's hard to believe you could still win the game because you knew in your mind as a coach, you can't just flip it on. And so we're walking into an opportunity where there's adversity and we haven't given ourselves the best opportunity.
You know, if you relate that to the business world, if you don't believe you belong in the game
conversation,
don't even show up.
Correct.
So, you know, if you're pitching somebody big or you're involved in something where you're a little over your skis, good. Do the work, prepare, get ready, believe that you're supposed to be there. Because I can tell you this, people smell desperation. They smell fear, you know, and you know, in the football team, in a football game, if your opponent knows that you're scared, you're going to get
over. It's over. It's over. It's over. That's the mental part of it. So exactly correct. I think when you relate it to the business world, if you have a fear of a conversation, do the preparation for the conversation. Prepare yourself to be ready to execute in it and know that you belong there.
So all of this stuff about believe is giving me, I'm getting excited. I can't wait to do it. So let's get some music that validates what we're talking about.
You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your ability. You're capable of anything. You can achieve any dream. Please don't limit yourself. Don't live your life limited. It's not all sadness and misery. Life's a challenge, but you will succeed. Take control of how you feel in every circumstance. Work on yourself daily. Your story's far from done. The best is yet to come. To achieve, you must believe. You can live out all your dreams. Persevere, you'll make it through. What you need is all in you. When you believe, you will achieve. You can live out all your dreams. It's about time you knew the truth. You got the power all in you.
Nice. I love it.
So, you know, it's interesting, even Scott, when we were talking this week, he goes, wow, what a commitment, man. You do a show every day. You got to create content for it. That's the work.
Yep.
Finding that song was good for me. It's good for me to share it with you. Makes me feel good. That's not a top 10 hit, but it should be. You just listen to the words, look at it's just great. It sounded great. It felt great. And I know that if anybody wants it, let me know. I'll share it with you. But it brings us to what could be considered a sad day, a celebration day. But today would have been Kobe Bryant's 43rd birthday. I don't think there's a better case study of a guy who believes or believed in himself, believed in the work ethic, believed in everything. Shay, show me Kobe Bryant in 1 minute.
The man.
God, miss him in the world, but he left so many lessons. Not only in basketball, he was an unbelievable entrepreneur prior to his death. One of my favorite speeches that he did was when he accepted his ESPY, and people ask successful people all the time, how did you do it? Why did you do it? Talk to me. And his because is incredible. So show me because.
Thank you. And it's thank you. It's amazing to be standing here alongside Abby and Peyton. And Abby decided to retire after a compelling World Cup victory, and Peyton hung up his cleats after yet another Super Bowl win. And so for me, I tend to do things a little differently. So I felt an impressive 17 for 65 season would be a bold statement to wrap up my 20-year career. In all seriousness, I have a lot of respect for these two, and we grew up in our sports together, and I know the sacrifices that went along with standing here today. And we're not on this stage just because of talent or ability. We're up here because of 4 a.m. We're up here because of 2-a-days or 5-a-days. We're up here because we had a dream and let nothing stand in our way. If anything tried to bring us down, we used it to make us stronger. We were never satisfied, never finished, will never be retired. My high school English teacher, Mr. Fisk, I actually paid attention one time in class, and he said, he had this beautiful quote, and it read, "Rest at the end, not in the middle." And I took that to heart. I believe there's time for resting at the end, but for me, that time is not now. Thank you for this tremendous honor in acknowledging my basketball career, but I'm far from done. My next dream is to be honored one day for inspiring the next generation of athletes to have a dream, sacrifice for it, and never, ever rest in the middle. Thank you to my wonderful family.
I love it.
Wow. Pretty special. Humility, grace. I mean, God, the guy had it all. They take successful people and they always leave, their top 10 rules for success. What's amazing about this guy is that there are multiple lists.
Yeah, they're all different too.
He's top 6. Shay, show me what they did in Philly, where he's from. The Eagles actually have this in their facility. A basketball player is on the wall of a football facility. And so there's so many here that are great. Mark, I don't know if you had a chance to go through them. This particular one, Shay, you can come back to live. This particular one, and I have many more that are great, speaks to everything you are. So do you have them in front of you? You want to rattle them off?
Yeah, I think, you talked about him being on on a wall in a football facility. I still use the screenshot of him sitting with Nick Saban. Yeah. And I use the quote, like, everybody wants to be the beast, but not everybody wants to do what beasts do. And I think that is the ultimate sentence for the full culmination of the philosophy is, you want to be successful. You want all of the accolades. You want to be the best. You want to stand out amongst the competition. But are you willing to do what it takes, the discipline and the commitment? Like, I put a post out yesterday about a picture of all the different ways we create Chinese food and fajitas in the house, because we know that the price to pay for feeling good, for being able to sustain, working out consistently and being able to think the right way is the discipline of eating the right things. So you're either willing to sacrifice the number 6 on a Wednesday, the donut in the morning, and that's not to say there aren't times to treat yourself, but you're either willing to consistently be disciplined to make the decisions, or you're not. And that's what either willing to do what beasts do or not willing to is all about.
I couldn't agree with you more. This Mamba mentality that he created, I'm just going to blast through them real fast. Get better every single day. Thank you. Prove them wrong. Work on your weaknesses execute what you practice, learn from greatness, learn from wins and losses, practice mindfulness, believe in your team. And number 10 on this particular list is what really drives me fantastic. Learn storytelling. It's about storytelling. You know, it's so like a basketball player is telling you, you need to learn to tell your story. I'll be speaking at the retreat for United Way next month. And my conversation is about, they want me to speak about storytelling. Most people don't do a good job of storytelling. We could go through and talk to lots of them. There's another list of 6. Number 5 is the Mamba mindset. What is it? You know, it's making a decision to do something. He made a decision at 13. He wanted to be a professional basketball player. With that decision comes responsibility. If you decide to do something, the actions and the execution comes behind it. But I want what?
If it's important to you, you will do it. Like I use this conversation with anybody, but I go back to when I was a college football coach. Not everybody wanted to go to school, right? I had 2 different kinds of players. I had kids that were getting scholarships that use football as their tool to go get a great degree, and they wanted to go on and do different things. And then I had football players that wanted to go be in the NFL, and the scholarship was the tool that was allowing them to get to the NFL. So you had to, number one, come at them differently because they had different reasons for being there. They had different whys. But at the end of the day, you had to go to class. You had to do the schoolwork, whether you wanted to or not, because that was the thing that was going to allow you to play football. So if it's important to you, if football was important to you, you would go to class. Right. And if it's not, you won't. So if your business is important to you, you'll do the research. You'll have the virtual coffees. You'll do the work. If your business isn't important to you, you won't. And when you draw the parallels like that, that's what he did with the Mamba mentality was, if this is important to me, I will do it.
So I'll close. It's spot on. I mean, it's most people aren't willing to take that responsibility. They're looking to blame. Oh, they did this. This didn't happen. The coach made me do that. No internal responsibility. And number 6 on his shorter list was, you got to learn how to handle pressure. In both business and life, you're going to have to make vital decisions when you're under pressure. Pressure is what makes diamonds. Boom. So when you think about it, you cannot avoid pressure. You need to learn how to deal with it. And they talk about his experience as a rookie when he took the last shot against Utah and he missed. And the game was over. They lost. Boom. He goes back and spends the entire night in the gym. So a phenomenal human being, a phenomenal case study in both business. Celebrate, the reason why I do stuff like this is success leaves clues. For me, building this show reminded me of the things I want to do to get better. Look at him. And you know what? All of my content, and we had this conversation, Scott and I, came from something I saw. Somebody puts together a course, one nugget out of that. Oh, I like that. I want to do that. Built my own system. And God, you can take so many gems away from Kobe. So anybody who wants more from Kobe, I got all the content. All you got to do is ask. Make sure you sign up at Get on the Ball, because that's where we're posting lots of content and the DMO and all the fun stuff. So what a great way to start a Monday. We're in overtime, but any last parting words for the final
Let's
week?
go. Celebrate the Mamba mentality. If it's important to you, you will do it. Let's go get after it. Let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million